Let's see your shit. I'm pinning it on the diamond.
You ain't charge your battery all the way, bro.
Nah, nigga. Let me see.
You just ain't charge it, bro.
Look. Let me see, look. Your shit fake, nigga! You don't got it! You do not have it! Stop putting on the persona for these niggas out here. You don't got it!
Listen, I love Sabo. You guys might not believe that based on my last couple of videos, but honestly, he's one of my top 5 favorite characters, but I keep shit real. And people don't like hearing the truth and it comes off as hating, but it is what it is. Sabo's impact in the Reverie was extremely underwhelming to me based on the expectations I set for him, and seemingly a lot of the community as well, and it was for good reason. But a lot of you guys like to get on characters like Mihawk, be like, how do you get his title? He ran away from V-Star. He hasn't fought no one. He's a fraud. He's this, he's that, he's that. Yeah, Shanks, hockey, man, that. But when we look at Sabo with the Flame Emperor title, bro was essentially a track star in the Reverie. As a second in command, bro was doing a whole lot of running. Alright, he saved Kuma and declared war. That was technically the objective. Listen, I don't expect him to do nothing in that room, because it's the Gorosei and Emu. But the way he got his clout as the Flame Emperor is pretty questionable. This title should have always been in question. When we seen my boy Vinsmoke Sanji get that Ifrit Chambe. How you the Emperor of Flames, but you don't even got the hottest flames? Someone make it make sense to me. How is Mihawk the world's strongest swordsman when Shanks can beat him in a sword fight? Someone make it make sense to me, you know what I mean? You gotta keep the logic. So I waited for this chapter to come out because a lot of you guys said, wait, Sabo might do something else. You're jumping the gun, you're just a hater, blah, 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 blah. So I waited. Nothing happened, we get a 1-month break, and a lot of you guys requested a Sabo versus Sanji video. But first, before we get into it, guys, make sure you guys take the time to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I know you're hearing this right now, but you're still not gonna do it. You're like, this guy didn't deserve my sub. Stop being weird, bro. Just do it. We're gonna talk about the Portrayal with Sabo, and then we're gonna talk about the feats and how their fight would go down based on what we know. I think it's pretty valid to talk about Sabo's Portrayal and narrative when it comes to Sabo versus Sanji, because this is a different character than ZORO. Even though Sanji does have better feats in my opinion, I think the Portrayal of Sabo still can trump that, unlike ZORO. So my straight up answer would be Sabo is stronger than Sanji. If I were to make a top 30 list, I would have Sabo stronger than Sanji. But that's not me saying he has the feats to back it up. The fact that he's Dragon's right hand man is something that helps Sabo's case. Sabo was under Dragon for several years and he was able to become his right hand man even before he obtained one of the best Del fruits in the series. So he has to be extremely strong with his haki, and specifically probably his Artemin haki. And Dragon is someone who I expect to be a very important character when it comes to the EOS or the end of the story of One Piece, and his impact is going to be insane. And he's most likely even stronger than Luffy right now. So if Dragon is that strong, his right hand has to be incredibly strong as well, because Dragon, essentially in my opinion, is one of the end game powers, and he's been saved for 1,000+ chapters to look like one of the coolest and strongest fighters. But that's just my opinion. It's not about him just being the right hand, because being the right hand to Big Mom, Katakuri, don't mean shit. He also should have very powerful Artemin haki that he's been honing since he was 17 from what we've seen. Some people don't think it's Eternal Destruction Rio, but I definitely do, based on how he destroyed the arena from the underground and how he destroyed Burge's arm from the inside. Haki is essentially like the most hyped power in One Piece. I don't think it's the end all be all when it comes to who's stronger. Depending on who you ask, a character like Kaido would tell you that haki transcends all. As Sabo, given the stature he has, being the right hand to Dragon even before he had the Mera no Mi, means he's extremely proficient in that aspect of haki, which does add credit to his name. And that doesn't go for everyone, by the way, because I can see people be like, hey, Katakuri is future sight, he's very proficient. Guys, he's a pump. Stop. Sabo being able to go stalemate with Fujitoro also adds credit to his name. This fight didn't really showcase any of their strength like some people like to assume, but it's just the fact that Oda put Sabo in that position to have a one-on-one skirmish with an admiral. Especially in the same arc, Oda had Zoro humbled by Fujitoro and made Sabo go stalemate with Fujitoro, and Zoro's technically like the number 2 of the crew. So it's clear Oda views Sabo a specific way back then in terms of strength, but people need to stop saying he's admiral level because of this. Like that is just wrong. Fuji's not the type of guy to go all out and try to humble people. And we see this plenty of times. Even in Dressrosa, Gear 3 Luffy was giving him the work. They were going back and forth. That Luffy back then is nowhere near Fujitoro's level. One thing that people like to do, they like to upscale Sabo based on the Reverie battle with the Admirals, which I find unfair. Nothing really happened in that battle besides Morley piercing Greenbull's hand from what I can tell. That chapter emphasized that the Admirals were fighting extremely nerfed several times. Like Oda really wanted us to believe that. He made it clear as day and reiterated it like 7 times in that chapter for some of you guys that don't want to believe in and have agenda.
Is that all you got, nigga? Oh, no, nigga. That's just the tip of this iceberg.
Read, nigga, read!
Also, when we come back to Wano, I swear Momonosuke was able to piece up Green Bull, at least burn his forest body a couple of times to the point where Green Bull's face was looking like he was in extreme pain, or at least looking like this. You could argue this is a better feat than what they did from what we've seen, and we all know characters are stronger than Momonosuke. We could just upscale them and say, hey, imagine what they could do to Green Bull. Also, like I mentioned earlier, Sabo was trained by Dragon, or he should have been trained by Dragon at least a couple of years of his life, while Sanji was trained by Ivankov. Cho, I know that sounds like such a low IQ argument, like people saying Sanji's a cook, he can't be this strong, blah blah blah. That's not what I mean. It's just, once again, the different scenarios and different paths Oda places Sabo and Sanji. And being the Flame Emperor, like I said, is kind of fraudulent, it's kind of weird, it's strange. But the world's gonna recognize Sabo as the strongest flame user. It is what it is. He has the fruit. People are gonna recognize the fruit before they recognize a guy who can just set his legs on fire, because that's what the world knows. They know the flame fruit. And I feel like a cringe ass moment is gonna happen when Sabo awakens his fruit EOS, and he's gonna be like, hey, let me show you why they call me the Flame Emperor. And he just now unlocked blue flames while Sanji's out here unlocking black flames, white flames, or some shit like that. Like, how are you the Flame Emperor? Bro's a real fraud. He's not him. Alright, so this is future me. I recorded this video before I even knew anything about the chapter. Now I just seen Sabo after he left Mary Joa, and it's making me think, fuck all this portrayal nonsense I've been talking about. How can the brother look this fucked up off one attack? Cobra took more than him and got up before him and protected him. If that attack can't kill Cobra in the first strike, it cannot be that strong, guys. Cobra's an old ass man, civilian, in a wheelchair. Like, what are we talking about? Bro, this shit's really making me think one Ifrit Janbei combo and this guy's getting sent to God. But look at it like this, guys. I have no doubt that the Sabo we do see in the future when he goes full power, because we don't know his actual strength, he will be at least shown stronger than post Wano Sanji. At least I would like to believe that, and I think you guys would as well. But whatever Sanji is running around in the future in the same timeline as Sabo, that's a different story. But Sabo's overall importance and position he gets put in, like for example being able to infiltrate Mary Joa and confronting the 5 elders and being someone to see Imu, having a one-on-one moment with an admiral for example, I feel like you have to be a character of high stature to Oda and in the One Piece verse. And I feel like if Oda's putting you in that situation, he kind of thinks of you highly. Oda has to put Sanji in any moments similar to how he put Sabo. Sanji rarely even gets interactions with the final villains and arcs. Even if he does, he doesn't really get shown in a good light or really do anything of note. He mainly gets his one-on-one battle. I think Sabo is viewed as a stronger character, portrayal wise and in the eyes of Oda. And I think him being the Flame Emperor is going to be something that stays, which is a little bit cringe, but it all don't matter because Sanji's going to have a title box called the world's fastest man, or the fastest man alive. He's going to become the Flash of One Piece.
My name is
Vinsmoke Sanji.
and I am the fastest man alive. When I was a child, I saw my mother killed by something impossible. My father went to prison for her murder. Then an accident made me the impossible. Secretly, I used my speed to fight crime and find others like me.
Now let's talk about the feats and the battle, because with feats this is a whole different discussion, because some people think Sabo has better on-screen feats than Sanji and he has better stats. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about attack power. Now once again, Sabo does have better art of Haki than Sanji. He finally honed his art of Haki and he has the flame fruit, and the best feat we seen was him one-shotting and attacking Burgess, the combination of Dragon Claw and his flame fruit. But Sanji still wins in the flame department. Sanji has blue flames, fire so hot that he needed his Germa exoskeleton body and his art of Haki to withstand the heat. So he has superior flames to Sabo, and I would go as far as to say he probably has more physical power due to his speed adding in more weight to his attacks, and he essentially became extremely fast to the point where he perception blitzed Queen, and on top of that, Ifrit Janbei should increase the speed of his kicks, also making his kicks more powerful. And he was able to kick a 500 million, I don't know how much this guy weighs, a 50-ton dinosaur like he was Team Rocket blasting off away. Attack power, give me Sanji. He has the better feat. Yes, Sanji after he got Ifrit Janbei dismantling Queen is a better feat to me than Sabo one-shotting Burgess, especially at that time when Burgess didn't even have his Devil Fruit. And I do think Queen is more durable and stronger than that Burgess at Dressrosa. And he has superior flames. Even though Sabo does have the Haki, Sanji has the better flames and he has a better feat. And I think he's physically stronger than Sabo as well. Speed, I think this one is a no-brainer. Sanji has some of the best arguments for his speed being top tier. Even before Wano, he was seen blitzing Oven, which which Katakuri got hit by. I don't care if Katakuri was on shrooms. We go to Wano, the anime saying his raid suits making him light speed and shit. His fight with Queen, he was literally perception blitzing Queen for periods of time. Oda even stated outside the manga that Sanji has the power to disappear based on his speed. Sanji takes this easily. Sabo, I don't think he's ever going to be anywhere near Sanji's speed. So yeah, endurance and durability. Once again, this is easily Sanji. Sanji's durability is once again as an emphasis of one of Sanji's biggest strengths. Taking a hit from a Seraphim in the latest arc, seemingly using Fishman Karate, and he tanked it while his arms were crossed. In Wano, Queen's sword broke on bro's body, and endurance wise, he has all his bones broken in his body, and he said he could still move fine, it only just hurts. Like, what the fuck, how did that even happen? Like, I remember a certain green hair swordsman was wrapped up in a spliff, having 30 broken bones. Like, brother was about to die, he had to take a senzu beam. For Sabo, I want to reiterate, him not dying from Imu's attack is not a feat we can use once again. Cobra got hit by that shit and got back up, and Cobra, once again, is a crippled, disabled, old civilian in a wheelchair. I can go hands with Cobra. Me and him can go once. I'll probably beat his ass. So once again, durability, endurance, I give to Sanji again. X, Sanji has his regen, and he's fire resistant. It's pretty obvious to say he can withstand the flames of Sabo, especially now that he has blue flames. I never really know what to say for Sabo's hacks. I guess maybe that he can attack from the inside out, I'm guessing. And no, he's not resistant to Sanji's fire, because if you hit him and he's not in his Logia form, and you have hotter flames than him, it should damage him and burn him. And he has his pipe. So let's simulate how the fight would go down between Sanji and Sabo. The fight starts. Oh shit, yo, you guys thought I was gonna say that? I'm not a restless gambler. I can't bite bro's drip. Sabo charges at Sanji, and Sanji stands there like he was versus Estrarch with his arms crossed. Sabo attempts to hit Sanji with his pipe. It breaks on his face, and Sanji fixes it. Sanji disappears, and he starts to attempt to perception blitz, but Sabo was able to pinpoint where he was gonna pop up and hit him with a dragon claw. Sanji tries to block it with his leg, but he breaks his bones. Sabo walks away, but Sanji gets up and punches his leg back into place. Sabo's like, what the fuck? He quickly shoots Hiken at Sanji. Sanji's unfazed. Sanji charges up Ifrit Jambe, and he tells Sabo, let me show you why I'm the true Flame Emperor, bitch. Sanji disappears again this time. Sabo isn't able to detect Ifrit Jambe Sanji at all. Sanji hits him with Base Cult and sends Sabo flying through walls. Sabo was contemplating how someone can have hotter flames than him. He then gets up and uses Entai. Sanji charges up Boof Burst, and a new Flame Emperor was born that day.
Sanji.